Hi guys, and welcome back to another crochet tutorial. So today I'm going to show you how I made this vest. So there's actually not a lot to say about this vest. It's made of 36 squares and 2 triangles. So the first thing that we need to do are to make all the squares. Then I aligned them all together in order to check the sizing. It's a little bit oversized. I wish I would have made it a little bit more oversized, but then while styling I saw that this size is actually also okay to make like some not oversized looks. So actually this size is still okay, but yeah, it always depends on how you want to style it. It's easy to make. The squares are very easy to make. The squares are very fast to make. The only thing that will take a little bit of time is to make the border, because I use the type of stitch that takes a little bit longer, but I like how it turned out. And yeah, I think it's very beginner friendly because it's very repetitive. There are not a lot of crochet knowledge to be known beforehand, so if you can do the normal basics like single crochet, slip stitch and double crochet, then you know how to make it. And also the sizing, I said it's oversized. I usually wear small size, but since I'm pretty tall, I also sometimes use medium size, so just to let you know. But in the pattern that you will find down below, in the written pattern, you can also find the measurements. So if you want to make it bigger or smaller, you know how to do. But if you want to do it a little bit bigger, only a little bit, then I would suggest you to make this, to add on the squares, like to make the squares bigger. As you can see here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows on each square. If you make it a little bit bigger, then you can just add 1 row, so you make 6 rows instead of 5 rows. But if you really want to make it much bigger, then I would suggest you to just use more squares. But yeah, then also this part will be bigger. As you can see here, this is all one line of squares, so you should add also here. But you should just know whatever you wanna do, like what is best for you. Also, you can always add length, so you can also make it like a vest dress type of thing. So yeah, as you can see, the options are very various. You can of course change the color pattern, or you can make it only two colors or 3 colors as I did. I actually did this because I have a lot of leftover yarn and I didn't really know what to do with this type of colors. When I did the cardigan, I ordered way too much yarn, so yeah, as you can see, I was able to do one more full project with that. So yeah, I think that was all. Please make sure to like and subscribe to see more videos coming, and other than that, I will leave you with this. And yes, I wish you a lot of fun crocheting with me. Let's get started making the squares. They're a bit different than granny squares, so I'm gonna show you how to make them. We are going to need 36 of these squares, and then we're gonna need 2 of half squares, only the half of it, like triangles. But first, let's start off by showing how we're going to make these ones. So I'm gonna take our yarn and we're going to make a slip knot, and then we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to insert our hook into the first chain and make a slip stitch. 1 slip stitch, and then we're gonna chain 2. 1, 2. this counts as our first double crochet, and then we're going to make double crochet into this little space here, which counts like this. Is actually, we formed a ring by making our 4 chains at the beginning, and now we're going to crochet into the ring. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into this ring, take the yarn, pull through. We have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over again, and pull through the second 2 loops on the hook. And this is 1 double crochet. We're gonna make 1 more double crochet, so the same thing as before. And then if we count this as our first double crochet, the first 2 chains that we made, we have 3 double crochet here. Then we're gonna chain 2, 1, 2. This will be our angle that you can see here, the space that we're gonna make. And then we're going to do again 3 double crochet into this ring. So we're gonna yarn over, insert our hook, take the yarn, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on the hook, and pull through the next 2 loops on the hook. We're gonna repeat this for 2 more times. So 1, and 2. Okay, and again we have 3 double crochet here. We're gonna chain 2 again, and we're gonna repeat again, doing the same thing, 3 double crochet into this ring. So 1, 2, and 3. Again, we're gonna chain 2, 1, 2. We're gonna move over everything a little bit so we have space for making the last 3 double crochet into this ring. 1, 2, and 3. And now we're gonna chain 2 again, 1, 2, and we're gonna finish off the first round by making a slip stitch into the first double crochet that we have here. So we're gonna insert our hook here, we're gonna take our yarn, pull through, and immediately pull through the loop without yarn over. So that's a slip stitch. And now we're gonna start off by doing the second round. And actually in each round we're going to increase 3. So we have, if we check out all the parts, let's say we have 4 parts here. So in each round we have 3 double crochet more than before. So it's always a multiple of 3. We have 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15. So let me show you. We're gonna chain 2. When we begin a new row, we're gonna do that always. The first time we're gonna chain 2. Then we are going to make a double crochet into this first stitch. Okay, so not into this one, into this one. So yarn over, insert the hook here, take our yarn, yarn over, and again. So now we have 2 double crochet. We're gonna make more double crochets into the next stitches here. We have 3. Then we need to make 1 double crochet into this double crochet here, into this stitch. So this is a little bit difficult, could be a little bit difficult depending on how strong you crochet. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochet, And now we're going to make one double crochet into this chain space here that we have, into this space. We're gonna make one more double crochet. So we finished here now with 5 double crochet into this part, because when we crocheted all the round, then at the end of the round we have to do one more double crochet here. So then it's gonna be a total of 6 double crochet for this part. So we're gonna chain 2, 1, 2. Then we're going to make one more double crochet into this chain space here. Then please don't forget to make a double crochet into this here, to this stitch. We have 2, the next stitch, 3, the next stitch, 4, here the tricky one, yes, 5, and in our chain space here, 6. So here we have now 6 double crochet on this part here. We're gonna chain 2 again, 1, 2, and then we're gonna repeat the same thing again as we did here. We're gonna do one more double crochet into the chain space, then immediately into this one here, don't forget this one, 2, 3, 4, and the tricky one, 5, and into the chain space, and we have 6. We're gonna chain 2, 1, 2, and then one more double crochet into the chain space. Don't forget this one. We have 2, 3, 4, and here the tricky one, 5, and into the chain space, and we have 6 for this part as well. Now we're gonna chain 2, 1, 2, and then since we have 5 double crochet here, we still need to do 1 double crochet into this chain space here before ending the row. So we're gonna do 1 double crochet, and then we're gonna do a slip stitch into the first double crochet of the row in here, and slip stitch. So now we finished the second row. Let's move over to the third row. If you've understood how this is working, you could actually stop watching and continue, but I'm gonna do it with you together until we finish this square. So we're gonna chain 2, we're gonna make a double crochet immediately here into this stitch. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the tricky one here, 6 and 7 into the chain space. And as we have 7 double crochets here in the third row, we need to have 9 double crochet for each part. So we need to make 2 more double crochet when we end, before we're gonna end the round. So we're gonna chain 2 now. We're gonna make 1 double crochet into the chain space. This is our first. Right after the next one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the tricky one, 8, and into the chain space 9. So now we have 9 double crochet. We're gonna chain 2, 1, 2, and then again the first double crochet into the chain space, the second one immediately after the next stitch here, and then continue until you reach the chain space. This one, don't forget it. And chain space. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 double crochets. We're gonna chain 2, 1, 2, and one more double crochet into the same chain space. And we're gonna continue again the same thing as we did before. So and into the chain space, so we have 9 double crochets now. You're gonna chain 2. Now we need to do 2 more double crochets, so we need to do 1 double crochet into the chain space, and then here right after the next stitch in here, and then we're gonna finish off the row by making a slip stitch into the first double crochet. So now we're gonna start with the 4th row. So we're gonna make 1, 2 chains, and we're gonna double crochet into the first stitch here. So we have now 2 double crochet, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. We did 9 double crochet. That means we need a total of 12 double crochet for the 4th row. So that means here when we end up the row, we still need to do 3 more double crochets before ending the row. So now we're gonna chain 2, 1, 2. We're gonna make 1 more double crochet into the chain space right after the next stitch here. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 into the chain space. And now we're gonna chain 2, 1, 2, and we're gonna repeat again the same thing as we did before. First double crochet into the chain space, the second one right after, and then continue until you reach the next chain space. So now we did 12 double crochet. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. We're gonna chain 2 and repeat again the same thing as before. So let's make sure to count again. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Perfect. Chain 2. Now we need to make 3 double crochets here before ending the row. So we're gonna make 1 double crochet into the chain space, the second one right after here, and 3. And now we're going to end up the row by making a slip stitch into the first double crochet. So now we finished with the 4th row. Now the 5th row and the last row, we're gonna chain 2. We're gonna do again the same thing. 1 double crochet immediately at the first chain stitch. We have 2, now we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The one before the chain space is always the trickiest one, and the last one. So now we have 11. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 double crochet. That means we need a total of 15 double crochets for each part at the last row. So we need to do 4 more double crochets here before ending the row. So now we're gonna chain 2. We're gonna make 1 double crochet into the chain space, and again right after. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15 into the chain space. And now we're gonna repeat again the same thing for the next 2 parts. So we're gonna chain 2 and start with 1 double crochet into the chain space, the next one right after, and then you're gonna continue for these 2 parts doing the same thing as we did before. So now we did 15 double crochet on this part, 15 on this part. We need to do 2 more chains, 1, 2, and then here we need to do 4 double crochet. So we're gonna do 1 in the chain space, the second one here right after the next stitch, and 2 more, 1 and 2. So we have 4 double crochet before ending the row, and then we're gonna make a slip stitch into the first double crochet of the row, and then we're gonna just yarn over, pull through the yarn, cut off, and we did our first square. I have 2 here now. Depending on what color combination you want to do, you're gonna choose how many in each color you want to have, but you need to have a total of 36 squares. And now I'm going to show you how to make the triangle. So as for the triangles, we only have 2 here. We need to do it a little bit differently, but it's as easy as the squares. So basically we're going to start exactly the same way. So we're gonna make a slip knot, we're gonna chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna insert the hook into the first chain and make a slip stitch. Then going to chain 2, and then we're going to make again 2 double crochet into this ring. So now as we did this, we are going to repeat again, like we're going to chain 2, so I just chained 2, and then we're going to do 3 more double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. So basically this is the part that we need to do here, and now we're already going to start off making the second row. So we already finished with the first row, as you can see here, and for the second row we're gonna chain 2, we're gonna turn, and now we need to make sure that we make 6 double crochet into this first part here. So this is already one, so we're gonna do one more, so we have 3, and then you're gonna check out here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, so we're going to do, so we already have 2 here, so we're going to do 3, sorry, I'm going to make one more. Now we have 3, 4, 5. This is the tricky one here. Very tricky one. 5, and the 6th here into the chain space. Okay, now we have here 6 double crochet. We're gonna chain 2, 1, 2. We're gonna make one more double crochet into this chain space. Then we're going to make one here at this tricky part, as I like to call it. So we have 2 double crochet, 3, 4, 5, and as you can see, we need to do one more into the same stitch. So we only have 5 here, so we need to do one more into the same stitch, and 6 in order to have 6 double crochet. Now we're going to, like, we're finished with the second row now, so chain 2, turn. Now we need to make 9 double crochet until the end of this first part here. So we're going to do 1, so we have 2 now, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this here is the tricky part. So if you want it to be less tricky, let's say, you can also just make 2 double crochet into this chain space, okay, like this. All right, so we have 9 in total. Now we're gonna chain 2, we're gonna make 1 into the chain space, 2 here, the tricky part, or into the chain space. So we have 2 double crochet, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and now into the last one we need to do 2 double crochet. So we're gonna have 8 and 9. So we finished with the third row, yes, and now we're gonna continue making the next 2 rows. Again, the same thing. So chain 2. Now we need to make 12. So the first one right here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and let's keep doing 2 into the chain space, 11 and 12. We're gonna chain 2 double crochet into the chain space, 1, 2, and then 3 in each stitch, 3, 4, sorry, 1 double crochet into each stitch. So now we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 2 double crochet into the last stitch, 1 and 2, and this is the 4th row. And now our last row, chain 2, turn. Now we need to do 15. So we did our second one, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 2 into the chain space, 14 and 15. We're gonna chain 2 double crochet into the chain space, and continue until the end of the row, until the last stitch where we're going to make again 2. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 into the same last stitch. We're gonna yarn over, pull through, and cut off the yarn. So, and now we did, it looks a little bit crumbled, but as soon as we're going to connect, which we will do now, the squares and the triangles, it will look like this. So it will straighten up a little bit. It will look like this. And what we're gonna do next is basically like one more of these and 36 in total of these, whatever color combination you want to do. And if you want to do exactly this one, I'm gonna write down below how many squares I did of each color. And then I'm going to take stitch markers, like I took stitch markers and connected all the squares in order to have them already together, so that I was able to try on the vest, and then I connected them with the hook. You can do it with the needle. I will show you how to do it with the hook. And yeah, in the image that will pop up in the video, you will be able to see clearly which parts you need to connect. I drew it down because it's a little bit difficult to show here, and I also will show you some work in progress videos that I took while I was making the vest, so you have a better picture on what I was doing. Now we put together all the squares with the stitch markers, and we have to connect them now, all the single squares. And here just make sure that you're not going to connect here, because these are the armholes, and of course here because this is the bottom part, and here these are the shoulders, so you're gonna connect until here and here as well, and this is gonna be and this here is the front. So this is the back part. Just remember, when you start to connect, just flip it over so you're connecting at the back side, and then you can start connecting all the squares. As you can see here, it's not finished yet because I did the borders here. This is the last step that we're gonna make after connecting all of them. So border here, border here, border here, like the ribbon part, and only this part here is left because I decided to show you how to make it on this last one. And yeah, but first I'm gonna show you how to connect the squares. So basically we're going to connect them on the back side. You can see this is the front side and this is the back side. Two back sides here. We're gonna take the yarn. Once you're going to do this one, like the whole vest, you're going to start, like I was starting down here. I made until here, then I connected here, like all like the vertical lines, and then I connected the these lines here, horizontal lines. So I'm gonna show you only here on this one part, but keep in mind to just continue on the next squares. So we're going to start off by pulling through the yarn at the chain space, and we are going to make a knot like this, and then we're going to take our yarn and we have to, like, first of all, insert your hook into the chain space, yarn over and pull through the yarn. So you have the yarn here on your hook, and then make sure to always take the same, like here it's the first double crochet, this is the first double crochet here, and then we're going to check out where we have here. Let's make first one chain, and then we're going to take here the first stitch here, but the back loop only of this part here, and of the back part we're going to insert our hook into the, like this is the front loop, sorry, the front loop only, and the back side we're going to take the back loop only. Okay, and then we're going to yarn over, pull through, and make a slip stitch. One more time. I hope it will be clearer this time. So front loop only of the front square, back loop only of the back square, yarn over, pull through both loops and also through the loop on the hook. And we're going to continue doing this throughout all the stitches here. The tricky part is where we did the knot, where we cut off the yarn. But other than that, the only thing that you need to take care of is that you're always taking the same, that you're not like skipping one stitch. So we reached the end of the row here where the chain space is. As soon as we reach the chain space, we're going to insert our hook into the chain space, pull through. I liked here not to make a slip knot, but to make a normal single crochet. And then in that case, now I'm finished. And if you turn around, you will see they're connected, the parts. But here we need to continue to the next, let's say, to the next part. And let me show you here on this part here. Now this is already connected, but just that you have an idea on how to continue. So you're gonna take the next two squares, you're gonna flip them over and on the back side so that both front sides touch, and you're going to insert the hook into these two chain spaces, and then you're going to yarn over, pull through the yarn and make a slip knot, and then you're going to make one chain. And then you're gonna continue doing the same thing that you did here. And once you reach the end of the row, like the end of all squares, then you're going to simply yarn over, pull through and cut off the yarn. And now we have to connect the squares. So now after you've finished attaching, combining all the squares, we're going to make the borders. And as you can see, I already made some of them. And just make sure to start here on the neckline. You're gonna start here, go all over and finish up here again. And for the down part, it doesn't really matter where you start. I started here at the side. And for the arm part, start here at the armpit. It's just so that it's less visible where we connected the first and the last part. So we're gonna as well here start at the armpit. So we're going to insert our hook into the chain space here. Take the yarn, pull it through and make a knot. So now we are going to first of all take our yarn like this. So let me show you one more time. Insert the hook into the chain space, take the yarn over and pull through. And now we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 chains now, and now we're gonna make 5 slip stitches until we reach the beginning. So we're going to insert our hook here into this chain, take the yarn over, pull through, and pull through immediately again. So that's the first slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and here the last one, 5. So now we insert our hook into this stitch. You can see it here. This is our first stitch here, and we're gonna make again a slip stitch. Then we need to turn. Make sure the yarn is behind the hook. So we turned now, and now we're gonna make again 5 slip stitches until the end. So make sure you need to insert the hook not here, the very first one, but here. So it's 1, and we're going to insert to the back loop only in order to get this type of design. So I already insert to the back loop only. So insert here the hook. This is the whole stitch, but we're going to insert the back loop only. So we did the second slip stitch, 3, 4, and 5. The last one is the tricky one. 5. Now we're going to chain 1. We're gonna turn, make sure that the yarn is behind the hook, and then we're gonna make slip stitches to the back loop only again until the end of the row. So a total of 5 always. So we did here, this is the chain that we did, so we're gonna insert to the first stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we inserted before into this stitch here, so we need to insert our hook into the next stitch and make a slip stitch. Turn and make again 5 slip stitches to the back loop only until the end of the row. Not in this one, the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we're gonna repeat again the same thing. Chain 1, turn, make sure that the yarn is behind the hook, and then we're gonna make 5 slip stitches to the back loop only. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we're going to insert the hook into the next stitch. We insert it here, here, the next one is here. And make a slip stitch, turn, and continue again the same thing. We're gonna continue this all over until we reach here where we started. And I will meet you here exactly where we started. As soon as you reach this part, you're going to insert the hook into this stitch, then the chain space, then jump over to the next chain space, and then again continue with the next stitch. So now I reached the beginning part again. I did the border all around this front part, and now all we have left is to connect the beginning with the ending part. And you could just cut off, take a darning needle and sew, or you just going to insert the hook in both parts, the ending and the beginning part, and slip stitch until you reach the end. And that's pretty much it. So we are now finished. One last stitch, then you yarn over, pull through your yarn and cut off. So, and now we finished the whole vest, and all we have left to do is to take the darning needle and weave in all the leftover yarns. Make sure to weave them in all at the back side. There are pretty many so there's a lot of stuff to weave in, but that's it for this tutorial. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were able to follow it, and I will see you in the next one.